day, Rusk enjoyers. Hope you're right, 'cause it's time to start yapping about Easter and the not so nice positive things. There's some positive things, but we should be expecting prices dropping off now. It's a yapping session. So, of course, last year, you might recall, I was keeping track with how everything was rolling out. Potential problems, prospects. It says it all there. There's the title. It's right there. But in short, we're expecting bad times to happen again. It's not usually as bad compared to the autumn-fall seasonal dip, which, of course, quick switch. Oh, there you go, yeah. But yes, you might recall that went real bad. This past October, about half a year ago now, which is quite surprising to say, time's moving very quickly, it was real bad. Prices were dropping off real bad, and well, doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad time to consider investing. Oh. So let's just quickly hop out of this. If we could just quickly recollect, post-Christmas was pretty sweet. So nice that it actually went all the way through February as well. Considering we also had, we also happen to have the naval update for February 2026. A lot of people turned up, a lot of people stuck around. And for the first time ever since 2017, as the tweet says, we actually had a February that had more people playing compared to January. That hasn't happened in a very, very long time, but it happened now. So with that, a lot of people still playing. We saw prices maintaining and, well, staying up for quite a very nice amount of time. I hope you sold, because now we're starting to notice prices are dropping off. So that would be the main focus. I'll also keep you informed of interesting content to look forward to as well. Of course, Easter 2026. We've got some very interesting, strange things to look forward to. Cool. Let's begin. So, as you'll notice, from October to November to December to January to February, more and more people playing. And guess what? Very simple math. More people playing, more demand for skins, higher skin prices. Shouldn't be too hard to comprehend. What do you reckon's going to happen now? Yeah, the opposite. So, at least for just maybe a couple months or so, right now there's a pretty cool looking rush store. Sales are still looking pretty sweet. But overall, we're still expecting a bit of a drop off. And last year is a very good showcase of this. So, of course, we start the year of 2025 with a lot of people turning up. Brand new all-time peak player count. Wonderful to see. February's still pretty good. We only drop off slightly. People sticking around still. People still enjoying themselves. But it starts to drop off a bit more and a bit more. Ooh, around this period of time, between March 2025 to April 2025, we've reached a new low point, especially for some newer skins, all right? But then May time rolls in. Oh, look, a jungle update. Quite a lot of people turn up for that. But during June, for some strange reason, I don't really know why, because usually around June time we see prices improving. We actually had a bit of a dip around this time. But then as we roll into July and August, prices improve ever so nicely, and we see a lot of brand new all-time peak prices again. I said that before as well in anticipation to the summer. It was expected around July and August time is where we tend to see prices improve the best. So if you're sitting here wondering, oh no, is everything doomed? No, it just goes through a cycle. Everything's routine. This was to be expected. I did warn everybody. Post-Christmas doesn't last forever, but eventually good times, well, they happen all over again. So, all right, cool. Not going to complain. Just be aware, it doesn't look like we've reached the worst of it so far, but we're starting to notice prices are trending downwards. As we notice, the player count dropping off. But again, right now, kids are probably focusing, trying to do their exams, their, coursework, whatever, something equivalent to that. You get the idea. And I guess people are probably really into it now, trying to get their work done. Big projects might have come in. You never know. So, okay, cool. Understood. Less people playing, less demand for skins, lower skin prices. So, if we could just quickly remind ourselves from the past the things that we're talking about. So, certain skins from certain collections that were very in demand during the summer dropping off. Oh no, what's that right there? Oh, it just so happens to be a Cenotype large box, the tools box to be precise. So, in some instances, based on, certain things that happen, certain skins probably will end up a lot worse off. To learn a whole lot more in regards to what happened to storage collections, consider watching this video right here, the potentially last update to the Cenotype progress. Although, to be honest with you, I'm going to be very interested to see how it turns out around July and August time. And there you go. It doesn't necessarily mean things are doomed. If anything, if you've made a lot of profit during post-Christmas, and I'm sure you did, now's a great time to start looking around and consider making some investments. But of course, you want to be a bit smarter about it. You want to make sure you're getting at just the right time. There's no easy way to figure out when a skin reaches its lowest point, but of course it's the best time to jump in, especially considering we're expecting prices to improve and again peak again around July and August 2026. So keep that in mind. But yes, Cinnatype collection and various other storage collections. Let's just hop over to SCMM. How are you currently holding up? Because we've got like a consolation garage door given to us, and oh yay. If you were to remove this, it's now even cheaper. You're looking at about $26 for all of the storages now. But in theory, can it actually go even lower? I know the brand new DLC, the box storage box DLC that Facepunch made themselves, that's priced at $18. In theory, does that mean all of these would go all the way down to there? Or are they simply suffering, well, number one, from the reaction, the fact that we got the DLC, but could they actually improve? Because it's not just this either. We also happen to have like graffiti storages. Let's go get a good look at you. Again, if you watch the storage video that I just showcased to you, I remind people what the prices were just before we found out and actually saw what the DLC was. All of that is now down to $43. Wow. Oh my. But again, has this actually reached its lowest point? Will it rebound as we go through the summertime? And again, sorry about saying summer and spring and all of that. I'm trying my best to also point out the months. So more specifically, July and August, okay? So again, it's not just storage collections, but based on what just happened, it might be pretty interesting to consider looking at these. Might be a bit risky, but can they honestly get that much worse off? That's a decision you're going to have to make. Right, so Scientific. Let's get a quick look at you as well. Scientific, how are you currently holding up? Well, you're down to 74. Wow. And then over to here, Neon Storages. Again, you've got all the other deplorables as well. So let's just see if anything's like in the red here. And no. I was under the impression that these would be better off in terms of they have that prestige to them. They've been sought after for a very long time. They've been pricey for a very long time. But noticeably, quite a lot of these skins did drop off when we started to see the Cinnatype collection appear. And since then, well, hasn't exactly been reaching all-time peak prices. And right now, they're not exactly looking super great, are they? So let's just take a look at the gun storage, for example. Let's just see how you're currently holding up in the Steam market. I do believe you're priced at just under $7. Yep, $6.70. But how have you been for like the past 2 years? Well, you can see recently it's not been having a very fun time this past month. But overall, as I said, ever since we were looking at the Cinnatype collection progressing, you might notice a bit of a pattern there. It dropped off even around September time. So, yep, the all-to-full seasonal dip, that's to be expected. Let's go even further back, Hedge. So, yep, late 2024, early 2025. When did we see the first Cinnatype skin being accepted? Let's go remind ourselves. So, boop-a-doop-a-doo, and boom. Right, so the very first one appeared during, oh, here we go. Was that July? Wow, okay then. But most notably, look and see, it still drops off after January, all right? And then, whilst we started to recover as we went through the summer, then we start to see the Cinnatype collection appear. So, more options appearing kind of didn't really help it out. So, all right, cool. We've simply pointed out that skins can suffer, based on other reasons. But again, there's still opportunity. All of those neon storages could also recover as we go through around summertime, July, August time. So moving on from there, I now want to just quickly talk about an interesting comment I got. So this is the most recent 48-hour analysis, that of course being March 14, 2026. And I'm always talking about buy orders, abnormals, and if you don't fully understand what abnormals are, consider watching, well, honestly, depending on what time of the year you're watching this, just watch any of the recent abnormal buy orders, watch the first 5 minutes, scroll down to the chapters, you will see at the bottom, yes, the actual buy orders chapter, and then of course, listen in as I talk about the abnormal buy order support. In short, with every single rust order that we see, basically, with every brand new batch of skins, some of them will become marketable before the rust even rotates out. AKA, we could get an early insight on the Steam market, whether these skins have enough buy orders to keep their price up. And if it does look like that's the case, it's a great skin to consider buying from the Rust store. Because if it does look like it could retain its value, it's probably got a much better chance of potentially becoming a sweet, delicious profit. Sounds good? So, for your consideration. But back over to here, to this comment, right? Someone says, The one who plays laptop Rust. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Madman. Anyway, I understand the barders and the abnormals, but the barders rely primarily on stupid people selling it for under market value on Steam, right? To be honest with you, that's half of it. Because what if we were to go back and look at the previous Rust stores that appeared at the very beginning of 2026? Now, you might just sit there and say, Hedge, why not just go over your profit review videos? We could, but yeah, consider watching them because we always review how the previous Rust stores behaved from 2 months ago. So basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the very first Rust store of this year, and you might notice, wow, okay, so these have started going down in price. And you also might notice, hang on a minute, I'm picking these up with my barders right now. Yep, this is just how it works. So you might sit there and say, Hedge, you always keep talking about prices and this and that, but I'm also looking towards the future and trying to figure out how things could turn out. So if I'm to sit here and say, well, I wasn't really surprised to see quite a lot of these skins dropping off, I believe we would have talked about that again when we're reviewing the skins and figuring out prices, especially with the abnormal barders. All right. So right now, as we go through March into April, it's expected prices could drop off even more. With less people playing, less demand for skins. But of course, if the summer has a very interesting update, if things turn out, start off quite nicely, much like last year, with May 2025 getting the jungle update, well, maybe we'll get a nice little resurgence. But just to remind you once again, June 2025, it weirdly had a dip. And I still don't have a solid answer as to why that happened. So just quickly look through all the skins. Again, we're looking on scmm.app. I could do the exact same thing on rusthelp.com. So anyway, over to here. These are still holding up, but the rest of them, not really. They are starting to drop off. It's unfortunate, but it's not really that surprising. January 16, well, you're doing quite all right. And then, down 52, you're still retaining. But a nice white pair of tactical gloves. A transparent glow-in-the-dark sheet method, say no more. People want that. People crave it. And it's the, it's the pay-to-win skins that are more likely to retain their value. Is that surprising? Not really. But in theory, if it doesn't actually manage to go below its Rust store price, could that potentially have a very nice future in the summer? Again, you've got to start looking around, even older skins as well. And you've got to start considering, well, should I start buying in? So it's not just going to be somewhat recent Rust stores. What did we have a big fuss about only a couple months ago? Oh yeah, Christmas! So this is where we're going to start talking about Christmas skins again. Because guess what? We're currently going through the Easter dip. And we kept warning you over and over and over again. Christmas skins tend to drop off pretty badly the second it's not Christmas. Not too hard to understand or comprehend that. But I did say it's usually around March and April time where they will reach their lowest point. Guess what time it is? So, are you considering a nice long-term investment? It's right there in front of you. Look at the most recent Christmas Rust store skins. Look at the older ones. They've all gone down in price. Well, I mean, again, pay-to-win features, I'm just saying. But then again, if this is then potentially at their lowest, how they're going to look as we go through the summertime. And then you might also point out, Hedge, what about the autumn-fall seasonal dip? True, but Christmas skins keep rising up in value due to the increased demand as we get closer and closer to Christmas time. Oh. And then the possibility of collection continuations during Christmas 2026. You get the idea. Might be a nice consideration. Been getting that North chest plate cheap. No luck with the face mask yet. Well, hopefully, if prices do keep dropping off as time goes on, Mr. Fluxoy, you might be picking up a few. But yeah, if you don't manage to pick up any during the period of March and April, maybe start grabbing some from the Steam market or just put down a stronger barter. Again, we don't know how bad it could get as we go through October 2026. Just to remind you, October 2025, the autumn-fall seasonal dip for 2025 was bad. But we're warning people. And that's why I'm kind of giving you lots of hints and warnings now, yeah. So an interesting batch of skins. Some of them were really Christmassy, gimmicky and whatnot, but that's exactly what people want around, November and December 2026. So for your consideration, start looking around. I'm pretty sure you've got quite a big budget after post-Christmas. But again, solid, nice, long-term investments. I do this every single year. If anything, I've already bought a batch of them with my barders. because again, I anticipated them dropping off. I've got about 50 of these already. Yeah, 97 cents. That's what we're expecting. Could still go a little bit lower, but now that I've given you the hint and the considerations, maybe it might start to improve, because usually around this period of time, it stops going down in price, and then it starts to slowly start going up. Not an immediate spike in price, but a slow, gradual increase in price. That's what tends to happen. And we'll show you a nice example in a bit. But yep, look at that. It's been trending down, 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 down. Point made. But is it still going to keep going down? I don't think so. So now we've got to go ahead and showcase to you how to navigate to the past. So I'm an SCMM to APP. When you first appear in here, so first of all, let's just go to the default. There you go. That's the current Rust store. Skins are selling very nicely. If you go to the top right here, click on that time notch. Oh, look at that. I can easily navigate to the previous years, specifically going to December. So let's just go to December 2025. There you go. I can easily go to those Rust stores. Let's also go to 2024. So let's go find an interesting skin from Christmas 2024 and just see how they slowly turned out. So looking at all these skins, nothing here went super crazy. I do remember that gingerbread man rug working out quite nicely though. A lot of people seem to take a liking to this during Christmas 2025. So let's just quickly use my Steam Inventory Helper extension. Yep, people keep asking me what you're using, Steam Inventory Helper. And then if we just quickly look at the sales history, oh wow, look at that. Why did it go so high during this period of time? Well, it's because it's just literally the very beginning of December. So yep, initially drops off pretty bad, then it stops going down in price, and it starts to slowly go up in price. So at its lowest, it's selling for about 70 to 80 cents, and it peaks at around $2. So not a huge, massive profit, but it's still profit. And if you diversify and start looking for some interesting Christmas skins, I think you might, at best, like by default, walk away with doubling your profit, potentially. And that's like a common thing that happens with Christmas skins. So as long as you don't try and unload every single thing all in one go and sell them slowly as we go for each day in December, it should work out quite nicely for you if you're interested. Okay, so for interesting considerations to invest, to make some investments into, there you go, I can speak. Yeah, Christmas skins are a perfectly fine option. But what do we also happen to see last year as well? Oh yeah, look, you've got the Christmas Eve boxes, you've got the Christmas Miracle Door. So let's just get a quick look at you. I remember this improving quite nicely to a point. So this right here, right now, is just over $1. Yep, and as you'll notice, it's been trending downwards recently, and even quite literally since Christmas. Look at that. Much like last year, it went down. Ooh, yeah. So this actually reached its lowest point around May time, which is quite surprising, sitting there at about 90 cents. But quite literally during December, November into December, this went all the way up to $2 as well. So again, not huge, massive, insane price jumps, but again, if you diversify, you're very likely to see at least most of the Christmas theme skins doubling in price. And I don't think many people would be too upset to see just an investment double in price. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Right, so yep, start looking around, make some considerations. It's unfortunate we didn't see the collection continuation for this sheet metal door. What's stopping the skin creator from doing another one? All right, maybe we can't get a garage door. Why not do a sheet metal double door? I asked him for that, he didn't do it. So yeah, this has been trending downwards as well. So that reached its lowest point, and then it went up and up and up and up and up. This is probably the best example. I could foresee in the future this would end up becoming one of the more in-demand Christmas skins in the lead up to Christmas 2025. So yeah, Christmas 2024 happens. Christmas 2024, sorry, I don't mean to mumble. Goes down as expected. And then from here, it slowly goes up, 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 up. And we were really hopeful to see the sequel, the garage door, but it didn't get accepted. So it only went up to a certain point. Now it's going back down again, but it's not going to go down forever because, of course, the slow creeping rise up in value as we get closer and closer to Christmas, it will start happening soon enough, right? There you go. I can't really say it much any better than I have. A great thing to look around at. It doesn't have to be the more recent Christmas skins. You could go even further back to older ones. So what do we see right here? There you go. I think Yeti hoodie and pants might be appreciated a little bit too much considering people like to use them as whiteout alternative options. Just saying. But snowman furnace might be a good shout. Yeah, even a sheet metal double door right there. Some very nice options. but don't go all in one thing. That'd be the best advice I could give to you. Don't go all in one thing. Diversify. Right, so cool. That's a nice thing to bring up. So, look around. Look at these more recent skins that have come out. Look at certain interesting skins from the past that have worked out quite alright, but then kind of went down as well. So, if we go back to the summertime, what interesting skins did we see being accepted in Rust stores? Oh, look at that Heatseeker collection. Wow. So, quite a lot of this is still in the positive, but it's not as good as where it was, of course, when we're going through post-Christmas. And you're going to probably have to expect that these prices might drop off a little bit more. MP5, you are a very nice addition, but of course, if you aren't fully well aware, we saw some pretty interesting Twitch drops come out, and of course, we also happened to see the HellCore Collection. So, yeah. There was a lot of hype for Xenotype. Xenotype hype. No, Heatseeker Summer, sorry. I'm still thinking I'm talking about Xenotype. Heatseeker Summer. That was what it was. Sorry, I got them mixed up. I remembered the slogans, but it went all over the place. Sorry. Anyway, so as we kept seeing more and more and more skins being accepted, the more the merrier. This initially had problems because it did 65,000 subscribers. I am led to believe 100,000. Yep, 100,000 of these were bought in total, and there's a lot of them in circulation. And yet still, as we got closer and closer to post-Christmas and went through it, oh, that rose up in price ever so nicely, and it peaked at around $4. So, of course, we went through the autumn-fall seasonal dip there, and it suffered, but then it recovered. And guess what we're going through now? The Easter dip. So, do you believe this will recover and work out nicely again in the future? Do you believe we could still see more Heatseeker skins and have Heatseeker Summer 2026? I can confirm to you the skin creator has been trying. Let's see what happens next, all right? So we did see the SKS being accepted somewhat recently. Well, considering we've seen a brand new Skinnable instantly get accepted, what about tools? What? Tools? What do you mean? What's going on? Well, if you aren't fully well aware, this is another thing to look forward to. As I switch over to here... Oh. What's that? For April 2026, it looks like the Salvaged Axe is going to be the brand new Skinnable. Which then leads to possibly seeing Ice Pick and Salvaged Axe being a combination. So it looks like initially for the month, this will be accepted separately. But then after that, stone tools, regular tools, and salvage tools will be group pairings. What's stopping Mr. Vase from, making Heatseeker tools, all three versions? I'm sure a lot of people might appreciate that. So, yeah, if you follow this tweet, which I'll link in the description, you'll see that it will send you to see the most recent skins that are submitted. We have Hardsuit. I fixed it, salvaged. he spelled it wrong earlier. I made a joke. Anyway, yep. So that's the very first one to be submitted from Mr. Shedmon. And then over to here, we also happen to have the No Mercy Salvaged X. Sorry, Mr. Bad Trip. It was funny. But yes, No Mercy tools, Hardsuit tools. But I'll be honest with you. April 2nd, April 9, they're the Easter Rust stores, aren't they? Chances are you're going to have to keep an eye out for all the Easter submissions. The very first Salvaged Axe, the very first skin that is, very likely will be an Easter theme one. So let's now talk about Easter skins. Let's just go over to here. Wow. There you go. I have to link this in the description as well. We, of course, are expecting Easter skins. Now, let me just say this. I'm very sorry to say. Sorry to the skin creators, but let's be real here. Most of the people here watching this are Rust skin investors. People don't seem to care about Easter skins that much. Sorry for hitting my microphone. Anyway, basically, it doesn't matter so as long as you see collection continuations. And there's a lot of potential collection continuations that could be happening. But of course, people might be focusing trying to make a Salvaged Axe, which by itself probably wouldn't really matter too much. But anyway, can confirm to you we have the very first skin right here from, well, Shedmon. It's always the fastest. But yep, Bunny's Secret Garage Door, the first of many, and I can confirm to you because, of course, right now it's Monday. We've been seeing a lot of skins being submitted. I have seen a few more Easter skins being submitted. Let me just quickly navigate through all of these so I can point them out to you. You might see some very interesting collection continuations right there. Oh, let's just go ahead and find another one. I'm sure I saw another one. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, there you go. There's one. There's a notable one. And I do believe we also happen to have another sap of sorts. There you go. So not too many skin creators focused making an Easter skin this week. Next weekend, though, I'm pretty sure everyone's just going to be making an Easter skin. So that's a notable sequel from Mr. Chick Rock. Fairly straightforward, but do they really need to do much else? And then, of course, you'll see we also have to have this Sparkle Chaos sap, which I'm led to believe is an Easter skin. If not, I am surprised. It looks like that. No, it's just a standard skin. Well, good job, Hedge. I thought it was an Easter skin. Well, it was all nice and colourful. That's what you expect with Easter skins, right? I guess. So, yeah, the only way to 100% be sure what's an actual Easter skin is if you see it in this contest collection list, which, again, is linked in the description. Just scroll down, you can see it for yourself. And, yeah. Now slowly start rolling in with more and more skins. Hope you look forward to it. But I'm not joking when I say people don't really care about Easter. So if I could just quickly navigate to around April 10 and 17, you might notice, well, these sales aren't very high. No. If you were to just look back at the current sales with current Rustall, we see, yeah, almost 30,000 subscribers. I mean, this one over here only has almost 6,000. But the point still remains, we still have a few more days of this. This right here was a full week. But again, keep an eye out for all the skins that you see here, because we are, we're expecting collection continuations. I did pass on a little message here. I was like, wow, that looks cool. Imagine if we could get like grey, feathery burlap clothing. I'm sure a lot of people might appreciate that. That's why I commented and say, hey, it's a pretty cool idea, isn't it? Hi, Hedge, you give ideas. Yes, I do. You didn't say if it was a good one. No. So point still remains, yeah, we could still look forward to collection continuations. You just know there's going to be another Easter chick skin. You just know something big and yellow is going to appear in your heart this year. Oh, yes. What's it going to be? Well, keep an eye on the workshop. So, yeah, potential sequels, potential interesting skins, they can still appear. But I don't think the sales will be appearing, so, all right, we'll see how it goes. By the way, of course, items as well. Forgot about that. Last year, we saw a brand new costume. We saw a brand new Rustage egg. Guess what's about to appear this year? With great thanks to Mr. Protox. Yep. So, yeah, there you go. There's him talking about the all the storages. I should point out, here's one who informed me of what they look like and whatnot. So, Protox is the one that will keep you informed of all the brand new upcoming content. And if you want to get a good look at like the brand new costume and all that, he has made a video right over to here. Rust Easter Bunny suit and armored hatch testing. Consider giving that a good watch. I'll link it in the description as well. So, yes, we've got the bunny costume and we've got wallpaper. All right, cool. I wonder if they do, like, new wallpaper for every single season. Or event, I guess you could say. But they do, like, July 4. They did do it once with fireworks, but we'll see. Anyway, so Halloween, Christmas, a new wallpaper for every single year. I mean, it'd be pretty cool, I'm just saying. We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, no, you don't have to pay for the hatch. It's just new content that he showcased. Just want to clarify. But that right there is the amethyst purple Rustage egg, the bunny costume, which will probably cost about $10, and the wallpapers right there. They'll probably cost about $3-ish, something like that. Yeah, get the idea. So, brand new content on the horizon. Lovely stuff. Cool. Right. So, yep. That's pretty much everything you need to do. But let's just kind of give you a nice little showcase as well. Because, of course, it's easy to just sit here and say our prices are going down now. Why not actually go ahead and look at them? So, of course, we've already showcased, like, the more recent Rustors. You can even go back to the past and look at, like, the summer Rustors. Some of the skins are still doing very good. Some are not so much. But, you got to start looking around and identify potential nice investments. Like, you know how a minute ago we just talked about the Heatseeker collection, right? Well, a certain HellCore Collection has been very successful at the moment in terms of getting their skins accepted. Did you notice this is also a transparent aim sight collection? We just talked about how with all those Heatseeker skins, they're all kind of helping each other out. Do you notice how some of these skins are down in price at the moment? Do you notice how right now we have a HellCore bow right there? Did you notice how last week we saw a transparent aim sight custom SMG? I clicked the wrong thing there. Got to hover over it and then go to view workshop. Keep doing that. Did you notice how we saw a transparent aim sight custom SMG right there? Did you not realise that the only transparent aim sight custom SMG we've ever seen is the Rune SMG? And, well, did you notice that it's the only custom SMG that's currently in the positive right now that came out somewhat recently? Come on, appear. Thank you. There you go. Click it. It's a bit slow sometimes. Sorry about that. Load it. Load it. Thank you. There you go. Ta-da! So that actually went up in price very nicely as of recent. But you might notice the majority of custom SMGs, they do not look very pretty, unfortunately. In terms of their value, they've dropped off. Blackout will be right, though. People appreciate the Blackout collection. So, all right, that's cool. But what if I told you we also happen to see another skin? Oh, wow. Does it have a transparent aim sight? Cuted. What's with all this cuted nonsense? Ah, there we go. Lovely. Cut. Transparent. Ta-da! So, thoughts, opinions will actually be accepted. We shall see. Have we actually had a transparent aim sight M249? I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So that's a more recent collection that's been doing pretty interestingly as of recent. But why not look at the usual suspects? So, of course, let's just refresh. Typically, right? Typically, when you refresh, you'll see the same old, same old. What do you mean by that? Well, we usually expect to see like Whiteout collection. Oh, look, snow camos here as well. These are very in demand because, of course, Camouflage, pay to win. Right? It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? So as of now, you can see that this is priced at just under $23. And pretty much with every like autumn, fall, seasonal dip video and all that, like I'm always looking at Whiteout. Typically, when prices are going up for the Camouflage skins, it usually indicates that things are going pretty well. There's a lot of people playing. A lot of people go to the same old in regards to Camouflage skins. You get the idea. Cool. So what if prices are going down? Well, that would usually imply they're not playing as much. And guess what's happening? Dun, dun, dun! Oh, no. They're slightly going down. Slightly. Anyway, so if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, well, I mean, it's not that bad, is it? No, but again, I don't think we're past the worst of it. So if I could just grab all of that. Yep. So, autumn, fall, seasonal dip 2024 into post-Christmas. You can clearly see that worked out quite nicely. But it does drop off around here. Now, last year's post-Christmas, it was good, but it didn't last as long compared to this year's. Again, the naval update very likely helped out a lot. Cool. So we drop off around February, funnily enough. Doesn't really do much for a whole month. Then it starts to improve. And of course, as we go through the summertime, oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. So dips, stagnates, improves, kind of dips in June for some reason. Again, we still don't fully know what happened with the June dip, but then it recovers, and oh my, brand new all-time peak price around August time. Okay? Then, of course, autumn fall seasonal dip happens. It's not very nice. Then post-Christmas. What a wonderful time. So this actually peaked in February, which is quite surprising. But, of course, you can see it's starting to droop. Oh, dear, it's getting floppy. What a shame. But it's starting to go down now. So, some of you might sit there and say, oh, is it a great time to buy now? I don't know. I don't know how low this is going to go, right? I don't think we're getting a massive content update anytime soon. Of course, you know, we're starting to see like tweaks and changes with the naval content and whatnot, which is nice to see. But I don't think we're getting like a massive update for May 2026. Like last year, we had the jungle update. Quite a lot of people turned up for that. But didn't like last, did it? Like we noticed June dropped off a bit. Anyway, so keep an eye out. My answer is, I think it's going to continue dropping. And I'm under the impression we might not see the actual, like, the absolute lowest point until at some point in April. And that might not probably happen until, like, the second week of Easter, as in, well, that's going to be, like, the 9th. So we've probably got, like, another month to go and watch this drop off. But you got to be prepared for such a thing. And, again, if you want to invest into these skins, cool. If you just simply want to buy them because you want them, yeah, wait it out a little bit long, a little bit longer, right? So it's not necessarily people that want to invest watching this video, hopefully. It's also the people that want to buy all the Camouflage skins. Well, now you know. But do be aware, whilst it might rise up in price ever so nicely during the summer again, I don't know how bad it could be around, autumn, fall, seasonal dip time. October 2026 time. So, all right, cool, understood. We get the idea, it's going down. Let's also look at the pants. So pants aren't exactly as valuable. But as you'll see, it also looks like it's starting to trend downwards as well. in the grand scheme of things, wow, that did really rise up in price very nicely, June. From here to here, wow, okay. That's pretty good. But you can see it's starting to drop off. Has it already reached its lowest point? I don't know. But yeah, keep an eye on it. At some point, I think it might be getting cheaper. We'll see. Right. Now, during this past post-Christmas, people couldn't afford the hoodie for Whiteout, could they? It was getting a little bit too pricey. So people look for alternative options. Comics hoodie. Wow. Right, so let's go ahead and look at you. And yep, you're also starting to drop off. But how big was your climb over the past like half a year? It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Right, anyway, so looking over to here. So post-Christmas 2025, yeah, it did quite all right, but then it dips. So from here, it's sitting at about, I don't know, about $10. At its lowest around here, it only goes down to about like $8 to $9. So not a massive drop-off. But the climb, oh, wow. So that actually reaches like a peak price of about $11 to $12. Not really that big, is it? No, not really. Or to fall seasonal dip, it actually drops back down to the price it was around Easter time. But then after that, so yeah, they had a wonderful climb for post-Christmas 2026. Yes, it did. Now, actually peaks at a highest price around 3 weeks into February, which is interesting. But again, now you can notice it's starting to drop off. So a lot of the very in-demand skins, you can see this happen. And, well, Comics Collection, it's not just your clothing. People also looking at your weapons as well. So Comics AK-47, let's get a good look at you. So Comics AK, this is the go-to white AK-47, and right now it's sitting at about just over $20. But if I can recall, it actually peaked at around 25. So yeah, let's get a good look at you. 22 at the moment, and yeah, starting to drop off. Oh, wow, look at that climb. Yeah, it's getting pretty insane. So typically, the climb from Easter dip to summer isn't usually as insane in comparison from autumn fall seasonal dip to post-Christmas. But there's still potential profits to be made. I hope we got the point across. So, all right then. Cool. So, you're also starting to drop off. We also happen to have the comics pants, $4 at the moment. Have you been improving? Well, yes, you have. But now you're starting to stagnate. Now you're starting to go down, which is something we're also starting to notice. So, okay, cool. What about the Whiteout collection, such as the kilt? $25 a piece, but even you, we're starting to notice it's trending downwards. So we're only like kind of starting to notice it now. We're only starting to see it like actually happen. And I felt the need to record this video so I don't have to keep explaining myself all the time. I'll just reference, well, the Easter dip's happening. Watch this video to understand everything that's going on. And, you know, for the love of God, look at the chapters just so you can skip ahead to parts that would probably be relevant to you. Yeah. But you can see it's just been trending higher and higher and higher and higher. Would you agree that it would be nice if we got some cheaper options for camouflage? Because a lot of people are getting priced out now. It's getting a little bit too ridiculous. $25 for just one piece of armor that's camouflage. I mean, well, skinned and, you know, is a cosmetic. It's getting ridiculous. So I know a lot of people are going to sit there and say, well, you know, we just saw the brand new DLC for the boxes. What's stopping Face Punch from making their very own, you know, camouflage set? I don't think they'll ever actually do that. I think if they ended up making their own camouflage sets and they became like a general option, I think you get a lot of people standing up and screaming and shouting how they've made it pay to win, because they really couldn't. They really couldn't avoid that if they did just that, did they? But you know, if they provided cheaper alternatives, everybody would, you know, have access to it, and everybody would then be able to enjoy having camouflage and maybe not getting shot from across the map and stuff like that. So, all right, cool. So, speaking of nice, affordable skins that are pretty good camouflage, oh, there you go. Snow camo pants and snow camo jacket. So, again, they're usually always on the front page. They're not too expensive, and they're one of the skins that you could get for absolutely free. So, you know, when you play quite a lot and then randomly, like, it'll tell you, hey, you've got a new skin in the inventory. And it'll probably be like one of the default like t-shirts. If I just show this to you, so you might get one of these skins for absolutely free. You probably have seen it anyway. Yeah, these can be one of them. So okay, cool. It's sitting here at $1.10, and if we could show it out, there you go, starting to trend downwards. But these are go-to options. These are appreciated cheap alternatives because, of course, you know, Whiteout and all that's just far too expensive. A No Mercy jacket, well, they'll probably set you back about $40 to $50. Whereas if you looked at this jacket, which is perfectly fine as an option, it's only $2.20. And if you look at sales history, yep, starting to trend downwards. But as time has gone on, that has been peaking up quite nicely. So it didn't actually peak as high compared to what we saw for August 2025. We'll see what happens there, but I'm still expecting a drop-off and a climb back up again. So again, I'm pointing out a potential thing to look at, right? Cool. Right then, so even cheap options for camouflage, whilst there might be a lot of them in circulation, the demand keeps the price up. And the demand is what drives it up as well. So as it's going down, clear indicator that there's less people playing. So we'll see how things turn out, for this month. It was expected that it was going to drop off, but how low will the average player count go? Is it going to be as bad as last year, where it goes down by 10,000? Will March and April for 2026 be a big drop like last year as well? Let's see. Let's see about that, right? So cool, understood. I hope I've kind of like opened your eyes to some things to be aware of and some things to start looking at, all right? So we're aware that less people play, there's less demand for skins, and prices are dropping off. But low prices aren't exactly a bad thing. It's a great time to buy. Because, of course, when it's the summertime, we're expecting prices to improve again, which, of course, means a great time to sell. So, does it get more obvious than that, I hope? Did you really need to spend about 40 minutes just to get to this point? Yes. Because, you need examples, and I need ad money. Yes, the ad money will be mine. But no, seriously, I do need to make sure everybody can basically understand the general gist in regards to, well, the potential nice things, the bad things. You get the idea. Cool. So, that's a pretty cool looking skin right there. Let's just adjust the sun. Let's get that all the way around. Yeah. So, of course, it's a Monday. I'm on stream right now. Hey chat, how you doing? So basically, we're always looking at all the brand new skins being submitted, and I'd always recommend you come and watch. I'll keep you informed of all the silly, stupid things to be aware of, and all that. You get the idea. And, well, it's not just that we've seen. A certain interesting tier 3 armor has appeared. Oh, what's that? Well. People are going to find out about this before we even have the Rust Workshop skin checks, but that's fine. People have already noticed. People have already started buying out the kilt from the Steam market. It is a bit odd we didn't see the Black Ops tier 2. I mean, let's be aware that all the skin creators will be making Easter skins this upcoming weekend, so the next one basically, which would mean a lot of older picks, probably from the past month, and even older beyond that. For the final roster of March 2026, it's expected to be late picks. You get the idea. Don't expect any early picks is what I'm saying. So that, well, I think a lot of people would appreciate seeing that. I'm just saying. Right, so that's looking pretty cool. Nighttime look as well, just in case. Doesn't glow in the dark, which is exactly what people want, right? I hope so. There you go. It's not super bright either in terms of when lights are nearby. Is it super flashy and reflective? Nope. And that's why I believe a lot of people are appreciating that one. That's why I believe a lot of people will be appreciating it. Hedge, your speech is just bleh. And then, of course, don't forget, we're expecting a lot of armored double doors. Now, let me just sit here and say, if you're a skin creator and your armored double door is not here in terms of you submitted it, like, literally in the past, like, I don't know, half a day or so, I don't know. I'm sorry. Look, this is all the ones that have been submitted that I've seen so far. They're in the workshop right now. So if you waited until later, sorry to say, it's not here. It's got some very interesting skins. This one, of course, being a collection continuation. And then, of course, we've got quite a lot of interesting, independent, new, unique designs. This one can see you. Hydra also looking pretty cool. Those are some very suspicious holes right there. How's that work? Anyway, move on. Yep. So this is just like an extra bit of footage, just to wrap up the video. With some pretty wacky looking armor double doors. Yes, indeed we do. But we also happen to have some lovely pieces of art. Oh my goodness, is that the porcelain collection? Yes, it is. Look at that. Well, I mean, the garage door was Garage doors aren't. Yes, it was. It's beautiful. So, why is there a chicken right there? No, chicken, no. Anyway, quick look at night time as well. Actually, well, first of all, turn off the lights just so we can see what they actually look like. Because I'm in the ferry terminal area, and the lights nearby, after about 5 seconds, will appear. So, that's it in total darkness. Get a good look at all these armored double doors. And then in the background, the lights will turn on. Right, yep. So, yeah, some pretty interesting things to look forward to in the near future. But there's probably quite a bit to prepare for in the further future. So let's see if any of these potentially get accepted. And let's see if everything potentially works out. Could we still make some sweet, delicious profit? I hope so. So, yep, that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Be prepared. And let's look forward to the summertime.